Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Ayate Girim Yatkrapatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam Paramanandamadhavam. So now, after, is it okay? So after Shravana and Manana, the way to perform nididhyasana, the way to practice nididhyasana is given here. Nididhyasana is basically having a single file of thought. That's what the term also means. Abiding in a single file of thought, abiding in meditation. That ni means that nirantaram, that abiding, a single file of thought. And that single file of thought, when you have, you defocus from everything and you absorb in that. So that is why nididhyasana, because it leads to absorption, nididhyasana is also called samadhi. Many times people get frightened by the word samadhi, because so many connotations have been added to that. In some languages, samadhi means death also. So it just adds to the... But the word samadhi is literally means keeping your mind fully placed. Samyak is there, A is there, and Dha is there. These are the words which go to make samadhi. Samyak, perfectly, A, fully, Adhanam, Dhanam, to place. So, to fully place the mind in something is called as samadhanam. Same as samadhi. Samadhi, samadhanam, and all are well-known terms. Since nididhyasana, having a single file of thought, leads to absorption, nididhyasana is also called samadhi. So how do we practice that? So either with respect to the drik or with respect to the drishya. Either with respect to the anta or with respect to the bahihi. Actually, the either is not to say either you can do this or that. The either is only to say you can start with this or that, but you have to do both. You have choice from where to start. That va, atava is little bit, there's a word there, a verse there. Upekshya nama rupe dve. Hrdaye va athava bahihi. That's how it ends. Either you practice it with respect to the self or you practice it with respect to the world. Hrdaye athava bahihi. Hrdaye means what? Hrdaye means in the heart. That's what literally it means. What do you mean in the heart? It means reflecting upon that consciousness which is in the heart. Bahihi means outside. Outside means what? Reflecting upon that consciousness pertaining to outside. That's what that means. So thus you have various samadhis, and very beautifully it has been classified also. And just to recall the classification, shall we recall the classification? Antaha bahihi. So antaha, the first samadhi is divided into antaha bahihi. Antaha is divided into two. What are the two? Savikalpa, nirvikalpa. What do you mean by savikalpa? It has got a thought. That's called savikalpa. With the thought. Vikalpena sahitam. Vikalpena sahitaha savikalpaha. With the thought. Nirvikalpa means what? Without vikalpa. That's all. So in the savikalpa there are two forms. What are the two forms? Depends on the Drishyānuviddha savikalpa samadhi. That's how you start. What do you mean Drishyānuviddha savikalpa samadhi? You take a thought, drishya, and then you meditate on yourself being the drig, witness. First you perfect that. Drishyānuviddha savikalpa. First you have to identify who you are. Then after identifying the witness consciousness, use the Upanishadic wisdom, Shabda Pramana, and then abide in the understanding of who you are. And what does the Shabda Pramana state? Does it state that you are only a witness? Always a witness? Witness is only a temporary status given to consciousness in order to indicate its pure nature. Witness is only a temporary status or nomenclature given to consciousness. What is the purpose of giving that temporary status? It is to help us see the consciousness different from the body, etc. That's all. But once you see that consciousness, you understand that consciousness is all pervasive. Once you see the wave's true nature is H2O, you don't stop with that. Natural step forward is what? This H2O is all pervasive. But first, to go from wave, the true nature of wave is pointed out. This is a Vedantic methodology. So first, what is it will be said? What is H2O? H2O is the essential nature of wave. Step. First, what do you see? I see wave. What is the second step? The essential nature of wave is H2O. Second step. And what is the third step? H2O is alone everything. Third step. That's all. Vedanta is over. Nothing more is there. Okay? So first you identify the drig, then you maintain the thought. This drig is Satchidananda. Now you are using Shabda Pramana to abide in that knowledge. Therefore this is called as what? Shabdānuviddha savikalpa samadhi. Why Shabda? Because Shabda Pramana is used. Why Savikalpa? Because there is a thought. What is the thought? This drig is Satchidananda. Aham Satchidanandaha. Aham Akhandaha. Aham Dvaitavarjitaha. Swamiji, should I use all of them or one of them? Your freedom. Some people may feel convenient with only one. Aham Akhandaha. Aham Satchidananda. Some people may want Aham Akhanda Satchidananda Swayam Jyoti Asanga Swarupaha. Fine, that's okay. Freedom is there. As per your convenience. Savikalpa. Then what happens? When we are thus absorbed in that thought, that experience becomes mature. It becomes ripened. There is a rasa. And when you say experience is ripened, means what? No more you are putting any effort to maintain that thought. That is the first level. It automatically exists, subsists. It automatically. Then what happens? Still it ripens. And when it still ripens, what happens? The ripening of thought is vasana. The ripening of thought is vasana. A firm thought becomes vasana, you will see always. How is vasana made? Vasana is made by repeated thoughts or actions. So thus when you maintain the continuous flow of thought, aham brahmasmi, in a very simple way, aham, the drig is brahmasmi, that continuous flow of thoughts generates its power. It becomes a vasana. Then what happens? The thought ceases. Mind becomes thoughtless. I always remember Pujya Gurudev, whenever this occasion comes, Pujya Gurudev used to say so beautifully. Vivekshramani and all, when this topic comes, he would say, he would lift us to such a level and then say, when the last thought has been thoughted and no more thought is thoughting, and it become quiet, so that we savor that silence. See how beautifully Gurudev makes that. When the last thought has been thoughted, see, he's making new words. And no more thought is thoughting. There's no word like that. But see the beauty of expression. And then his big glowing eyes he will roll and look at all of us as though pushing us to the beyond. In Shravana only we should gain that glimpse. Only then the conviction grows. If in Shravana we don't get it, what will we do manana upon? What will we do nididhyasana upon? Many times people think, in the class we will listen, afterwards we will go and try to put effort and understand. It will not happen. That's why it is said, one should study. It is said, no? Tad vijñānārtam sa guru meva bhikacchets. Guru. Why? Because at Shravana time, the guru has to communicate that. If the guru has not communicated, he has not done the job. If the shishya has not gained it, it has not worked. That glimpse has to happen in Shravana. Then you reflect upon it and gain clarity, manana. Then you meditate upon it and remove the viparita bhavana. So Shravana is very, very important. And that is why Shravana is to be done again and again. Paunah punyena Shravanam kuryāt. The Brahma Sutra, you have Veda Vyasji telling us, Avritihi asakridupadeshat. Avritihi, again and again one must do Shravana. Why? How do you know that? Asakridupadeshat. The Upanishad itself keeps on telling it again and again, indicating to us that Shravana should be done again and again till that glimpse is got. One aspect is understand what is the essence. And understanding that essence, how? In an experiential way also. Yes, that becomes perfect, solidified, cemented experience, nididhyasana. But glimpse is there. Sometimes while listening also, we get this feeling, this is it, got it. This is called glimpse. Not that you got it, because it goes away fast. But you got it then. Trust that. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt. The power of the Guru to transform us expresses as that moment while listening. Don't doubt it. So when the last thought of Aham Brahmasmi also ends, What is there? What is there? You alone are there. When mind has ended, what is there? You alone are there. Swamiji, that thought, no, which became Vasana is also there. Let it be there. Kya farak padta hai? But your experience is you yourself. That is the experience you have. Thought cannot become zero. Therefore, we say thought becomes Vasana. That is only a philosophical explanation. But what is the practical experience? The practical experience is radiant consciousness alone is. But how do I see that radiant consciousness? You don't have to see that. You are that. You always think that I have to see consciousness, as though I am separate and I have to see consciousness. But I am that consciousness. And consciousness being self-luminous is self-aware. Nirvikalpa samadhi, antaha. Now you go to bahihi. See the practice. That also you do. It is always better to double check. Aham brahmasmi, brahma ahamasmi. The dridata. Is it not? See, this itself is very firm, correct? Now, like this you keep very firm. This, sometimes we should give children, small children, they want to play with them, then we open my hand. The fellow also tries this. Why? First he starts with this one because it is seen. But it's very tough. Then he goes to this. And then slowly, then we feel sorry for them. And then we open on. It's very difficult to... Suppose we keep like this, impossible to open. Very sturdy it becomes. The same way, aham brahmasmi, brahma ahamasmi. That is why 2 types of samadhis are spoken of. Here also you have the types. What are the types? Antaha, not bahi now we are, na? So bahi is a common word there. Drishyānuviddha savikalpa samadhi, shabdhānuviddha savikalpa samadhi. And now we have to see the nirvikalpa samadhi. What do you mean drishyānuviddha savikalpa samadhi? Take the drishya. Here drishya is what? Not vitti. Here drishya is object. Here drishya is not the vritti, means what? Here the focus is not on the drik. Even if you take a thought, that doesn't matter. You have to go to the Brahman of it. You have to go to the substratum of it. So take any object. The object has got asti, bhati, priya, rupa, nama. Asti, the existence and the manifestation, the consciousness, the Satchidananda aspect, you focus. You focus means what? Defocus from the form and the name. And keep that Satchidananda. In what way will that meditation be? Drishyānuviddha savikalpa samadhi. It will be Brahman is the substratum consciousness of the drishya. Like how in antaha what happens? I am the witness of the thought. Here what happens? Satchidananda is a substratum of the object. So once you identify the substratum, that Satchidananda is not just substratum of the object. That Satchidananda is akhanda. It has no limitation of space, time and object. That Satchidananda is all pervasive. One is wave H2O. Another is ocean H2O. Now when you identify ocean is also H2O, then what will happen to the wave? Wave will get subsumed in that, is it not? That same way, that that I, that individuality, gets subsumed in that Brahma Drishti. This is a practice. This is Shabdanuvidya. Why is it Shabdanuvidya? You are bringing in the wisdom. Earlier also it is there, but Drishya is associated. It is the substratum of the object. Drishya is there. It is not that Drishyanuvidya you can practice without Upanishadic wisdom. There also the Upanishadic wisdom is there. But there Drishya is there along with it. Here what happens in the next one? Drishya goes away. Are you getting what I am saying? Drishya goes away. And only that Shabda is in action. You are no more. That is, Drishya is forgotten now. Substratum of object is gone. Now what are you saying? This consciousness, this Brahman is Aham. Is Akhandaha. Is homogeneous. Ekarasa. So this way. So if you look at the two samadhis, Antaha Shabdanuvidya Savikalpa Samadhi and Bahihi Shabdanuvidya Savikalpa Samadhi, there is only one difference. The point of focus is different. That's all. Both of them are saying the oneness of Aham with Brahman. But in one, Aham with Brahman. In second, Brahman with Aham. That's the only difference. Are you getting? Practice that also. And then what happens? Here again, the Nirvikalpa Samadhi happens. Because thought, when it matures, has to end by becoming a vasana. Now we are in verse number 29. That's where we are. So let us read.
Stabdhibhāvō rasāsvādāttṛtīyaḥ
pūrvavanmataḥ
pūrvavanmataḥ ētaiḥ samādhibhiḥ ṣadbhirnayēt kālam nirantaram stabdhibhāvō rasāsvādāttṛtīyaḥ pūrvavanmataḥ ētaiḥ samādhibhiḥ ṣadbhirnayēt kālam nirantaram.
Same word are there. Rasāsvādāt. Can you see that word? Where is that word? Stabdhibhāvō rasāsvādāt. Earlier what was the word? Svanubhuti rasāveshat. In verse number 26 we had Nirvikalpa Samadhi of the internal. There rasāsvāda was spoken of. No, rasāvesha was spoken of. Rasa avesha. Here rasāsvādāt. Rasāsvādāt means what? When that rasa means that juicing. Actually juicing. When the juicing of that samadhi happens, meaning what? When it becomes ripe. Asvada means what? You are dwelling in that. So when you are having that, you just there. That is called a rasāsvāda here. Meaning you are not breaking that experience. You are abiding in that experience. Sometimes rasāsvāda is, those who have studied little more will know. Laya, vikshepa, kṣīyantē, rasāsvāda, that is a different one. That is not this. This rasāsvāda is what? When you are abiding, when you are having svāda, when you are continuing that experience. When that shabdanuvidya savikalpa samadhi fructifies and you're maintaining that experience without breaking it, then what happens? Stabdhibhāvā happens. Stabdhibhāvā, stillness happens. Stabdhibhāvā means stillness. Meaning what? It becomes naishchalya. Nischalata is there. And what is the example used for nischalata? Nivatastha deepavat. Remember? Like a lamp. Here again the AC is there. That's why the AC vent falls. That's. But if the lamp is there in a windless place, just still. People get confused with this example. Why? Because lamp is still. In the same way, thought is still. But nirvikalpa is no thought. Then they think, that thought is with Brahman and therefore it is still like that. But thought cannot capture Brahman. They get very confused with this example. Actually, it's a very, very easy. What does this example mean? Like how that flame is still without even a wee bit of flickering. In the same way, the thoughtless state is still without a flickering. That is what it means. The flame is not representative of thought. The flame is representative of the still mind. If you take flame to be thought, you're in trouble. Because you'll start wondering, how can this be nirvikalpa? A still thought is called ekagraviti, that is savikalpa. In nirvikalpa, what happened? Thought ceases. But what a poor example it would be if you say that the flame has gone off. It will be so uninteresting. It is not so nice example. The example is what? Like a still flame. Like a still flame means what? Like how the flame is so still, in the same way, the thoughtless state of absolute stillness is still. It's a stillness of stillness. It's the stillness of stillness. It's the absolute easiness of calmness. It's a total abeyance of thoughts which persists without a flicker. Shall I tell you one secret now? Always we want secrets. Swamiji, what? When all thoughts go away, how is the mind? You see, when all thoughts go away, every thought has got an object. Every thought has got an object. So when you say all thoughts have gone away from the mind, what are you actually saying? There is no object in one's awareness. So when object is gone from one's awareness, what is there? Awareness alone is. Wow, Swamiji, what a secret you said. Let me explain a little more. Now, let's say I have here a glass of water. Okay, it's okay. Alright, let's say for example I have a vessel. In that vessel I put a lot of objects. I put some stones. I put some sand. Some good things at least you tell. Whatever, I put some vegetables. I put some, whatever, I put lot of things I put. Then what I do, from that vessel I take all things out. Now, what is there in the vessel? Nothing is there. Correct? Vessel, everything I have removed. What is there? That space is still there. Is it not? Actually, that space alone permitted all things to go inside. The same way, from antakarana, if I remove all objects out, what will be there? It is one thing to say nothing is there, another thing to say. You see, when the vessel was created, it was created along with space. It is inborn with space. Spaceness is the natural state of that vessel. Everything was artificially added to that. When the artificiality goes, what is there? The naturalness of space exists. In the same way, when the antakarana was born, the natural state of antakarana is pure awareness. Like how the pot, the natural state is space. In the same way, antakarana, the natural state of it is pure awareness only. Artificially, we have added so many things into that. Now you remove everything. What is there? Just awareness is. Gurudev used to beautifully express this thought in a mathematical way. You say, thought is consciousness of an object. And then he would put it into mathematical. Therefore, thought is equal to consciousness plus object. He would say this. Thought is equal to consciousness plus object. Thought minus object, consciousness. So you remove object from thought. It is one thing to say the mind is thoughtless, like objectless when you remove all. Another thing to say the mind is now only consciousness. Objectless mind is consciousness. That is what is there. And consciousness has got flicker, no flicker. If you say mind, it can have flicker. Pure consciousness is just nischala. That is why stabdhibhāvō. And how does that stabdhibhāvā come? Nischalata come? Rasāsvādāttṛtīyaḥ. It happens naturally. And this is tritiyaḥ. This is tritiya means what? This is the third in the order. Adyaha, the first one is what? Drishyānuviddha, savikalpa. Madhyamaha is what? Shabdhānuviddha. And what is the third one? Nirvikalpa. So now all the 6 samadhis have been explained. Now he says, ētaiḥ samādhibhiḥ. Ētaiḥ, by these samadhis. O mukshu, O sadhaka, you have completed your shravana, you have completed your manana. Now is time for you to absorb yourself in the knowledge so that the transformation happens completely. If there is no knowledge and you absorb in some kind of thinking, then that is called hypnotism, self-hypnotism. This is pakka knowledge. You know for sure that you are the Drig. You're convinced about it. You're convinced that this world is nothing but the manifestation of consciousness. And therefore, please don't ever think that Vedanta is some kind of self-hypnotism. So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, ētaiḥ samādhibhiḥ, with these nididhyasanas, absorptions, How many are there? षड्भिः. Nayet kālam nirantaram. Nirantaram. Kālam nayet. Nirantaram kālam nayet means what? Practice this without a break. Now, this is what you have to do. So, nirantaram says no break. Nayet kālam says long time. So, practice it for a long time without a break. Why long time without a break? For absorption to happen, it should be without a break. And it should be for a long time. That's when absorption happens. Keep that gulab jamun for a long, sufficiently long time. And don't keep on disturbing it. Same way. Nayet kālam nirantaram. Any practice, if it has to become perfect, it has to have a long time and it should be without a break. Satu dirghakala nairantarya satkara asevitaḥ dṛdabhūmihi. How does practice become perfect? Dṛdabhūmi. How does it become dṛda? Patanjali in the Yoga Sutra, he says, Satu dirghakala. Do it for a long time. Dirghakala. Nairantarya. Without a break. So long time without a break. You practice. Two conditions. Long time without a break. But if you want to practice long time without a break, there is an inner inspiration required. Satkara. Satkara means what? That inner inspiration. You are self-motivated. Nobody can force you into this. You love it. You are devoted to it. Satkara. Asevitaḥ. Asevita means what? This perfectly you practice this. So 3 factors have gone to make the practice perfect. What are they? Long time, without a break, with full inspiration. Then it becomes dṛdabhūmihi. See, beautiful sutra. Satu dirghakala, sabhyasaha, that practice, dirghakala, nairantarya, satkaraha, asevita, satkara asevita, not satkaraha, satkara asevitaha. When you practice it, it becomes dṛdabhūmi. Satu dirghakala, nairantarya, satkara asevito, dṛdabhūmihi. Do it. This is what you have to do now. Have you understood Vedanta? Yes. Is it clear? No doubts? Yes. Now you have to do this. Swamiji, this is little uncomfortable for me. Why? Dirghakala nairantarya. I am inspired, but dirghakala nairantarya means what? How long? For anything there should be an end, Swamiji. How long should I practice it? Till the viparita bhavanas totally cease. When will I know that? When naturally this is your state. When naturally this is your state means what? What do you mean naturally this must be my state? See the next verse. All these things are answered in the next verse. Let's read it.
dehābhimānē galitē
dehābhimānē galitē
vijñātē paramātmani yatra manō yāti tatra samādhayaḥ dehābhimānē galitē vijñātē paramātmani yatra manō yāti tatra samādhayaḥ.
So first line, the very well-known famous verse. dehābhimānē galitē vijñātē paramātmani yatra yatra manō yāti tatra tatra samādhayaḥ. If this has happened, you can stop all your practice. This is the test of the, or they say test of the pudding, they say, no, that's an expression. This is a litmus test for you to check out whether the practice has become perfected. Two things are there here. Dehābhimānē galitē, one. So keep that separate. And second, vijñātē paramātmani, two. Dehābhimāna is what? Deha is body. But body is not just physical body. Body is also subtle body. So you have no stula, sukshma, karana, sharira. Deha here represents to the entire realm of anatma. Ahankarādi dehantan. In the language of Śaṅkarācārya in the Brahma Sutra, the entire yushmadartha, the realm of the object. So from ahankara up to the deha. Abhimana is what? The notion of abhimana, identification. When identification has totally ceased, galitē has fallen off. Has fallen off. Meaning what? The consciousness, the knowledge of our consciousness, the knowledge of our nature being consciousness is so strong that not for a moment at any point of time, either the ahankara or the subtle body of with the ahankara, the body, the senses, none of this is taken to be the self. By the knowledge of one's true nature, when identification with the body and all has ceased for ever, galitē has fallen forever. No more it will rise up. Like what? Today, each one of us thinks that we are the body, is it not? Man, woman, etc. How firm this notion is. In that same way, if this notion has gone away, and in place of it, the consciousness, the awareness of oneself being Aham Brahmasmi is that strong. 100%. Like how 100% today we are all confident that we are man or woman. 100%. Not an iota of dissonance between knowledge and experience. Not an iota of dissonance between knowledge and experience. In the same way, if 100% Aham Brahmasmi resonates, this is the meaning of dehābhimānē galitē. Next, vijñātē paramātmani. Vijñātē paramātmani, that asti bhati priya, the Paramatma, the Brahman, which is a substratum of this world, and which alone is me too, that Paramatma, that Brahman, vijñātē. Meaning what? Jagan mithyatva darshana has happened and Brahma satyatva darshana has arisen. Vijñātē paramātmani. So dehābhimānē galitē is with respect to Tvaṁpada, with respect to the self. Vijñātē paramātmani with respect to the Brahman. Vijñātē paramātmani. And what is the nature of dehābhimānē, galitē, vijñātē, paramātmani? Finally, that understanding is of the nature of there is no difference between me and Paramatman. And that is of the nature of aham brahmasmi. Soham. Vijñātē. Vijñātē means what? Not just jnāte, vijñātē. Jnana, vijñāna. When it is a concrete experience. Aham brahmasmi is a concrete experience. Then, how do I know it is a concrete experience? Yatra yatra manō yāti. Yatra means what? Antaha va bahihi va. Wherever your attention is, manō yāti, wherever your attention is, wherever the mind goes, meaning wherever your attention goes. Be it any thought, be it any external object. Yatra manō yāti. Yatra means where. Yatra means wherever. In English we don't say where. No? In Sanskrit we say yatra. Wherever the mind goes. Wherever is there, but therever is not there in English. Wherever the mind goes, therever, there and there. See, there and there comes. There and there. Tatra, samādhayaḥ. Samādhayaḥ, plural is there. Samādhayaḥ swayameva bhavanti. All these samadhis, what you are practicing, will be natural. Then you don't have to do anything. Perfection is in sahaja. Perfection is sahaja. Sahaja means what? It is natural. See, a child or a person learns dancing. Huh? So much effort is there to learn that. So many mudras, this, that, eyes rotating, neck alone moving. Have you seen that? Head? No, I do not know what is that. So much of effort. Then, when she has learned perfect and she has grown up and become a maestro, then any of the practice, what was called practice before is now what? Natural state. She dances in such a way that you start looking at her and you feel it is so easy to do this. Expert singers also, when they sing, no, they make it feel as though it is so natural. And then you start opening your mouth, something horrible comes out. Then you understand this is not easy. Our Guruji also, he is so natural. And when they play harmonium or any instrument, or when the guitar or violin, and then the harmonium, and you also look. So you see, and you put your finger, how to come. Isn't that? But for them, they look at you, they smile at you, and everything happens. And you also think like that. And then you also start looking, they're not even looking at the keys. So natural. Practice is perfect when it is natural. So, when these samadhis happen naturally. When these samadhis happen naturally means what? You look at the object, asti bhati priya overshines the object. You look at the thought, the pure consciousness overshines the thought. That is called samadhi. Samadhi means what? Absorption. You are absorbed in that asti bhati priya. You are absorbed in that pure consciousness. That's called samadhi. Earlier you practiced that by closing your eyes because you needed that focus. Now, Brahman overshines the world. Consciousness overshines the ego. Now ego alone is seen. In order to catch that consciousness, you closed your eyes and detached from the ego and looked at yourself. Yes, I am the Drig, and this Drig is Akhanda. All those practice you did. Now, nothing to be done. It's just, that is how it is. We ask the Jnani, where is God? The Jnani asks us, where is the world? That is the difference. Yatra yatra manō yāti, tatra tatra samādhayaḥ. You don't have to do anything. This is called sahaja samadhi. Sometimes they give the name for it sahaja samadhi, natural absorption. Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan, Pralapan, Visrajan, Grihnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. Indriyani indriyarteshu vartanta iti dharayan. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit. Pashyan, Shrinvan. That's how it starts. What a lovely. Yatra yatra manō yāti. Let it go anywhere. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? As they say, yatra yatra manō yāti. Gunātīta. Prakāṣam ca pravrittim ca mohameva ca pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kāṅkṣati. Stita prajña. Prajahāti yadaha kāmān sarvān pārta manogatan atmanyevatmanā tuṣṭā stita prajñastadochyate. Brahmanaha. Gargi, one who knows this, he is a Brahmana. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. Ativarnashrami is the one who has gone beyond all varnas, etc., etc. Shastra describes the glory of this Mahatma. Jivan Muktaha. Okay. Dehābhimānē galitē vijñātē paramātmani yatra yatra manō yāti tatra tatra samādhayaḥ. Okay. Now what? Now we come to the last verse, which is a verse from the Mundakopanishad, placed here to give the result of this knowledge.
Bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante Chīyantē sarvasamśayāḥ kṣīyantē cāsya karmāņi tasmin drishte paravare bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante sarvasamśayāḥ kṣīyantē cāsya karmāņi tasmin drishte paravare.
Paravare drishte. Go to the end portion of the verse. Shall we read this verse together again? Bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante sarvasamśayāḥ drishte paravare. Paravare drishte. Paravare. You see the word para avara. Paravare drishte means what? When you drishte, the word is beautiful. Drishte, when you experience. When you experience, when you have concretized that knowledge. When it is no more just an intellectual thought, but it is part and parcel of your life experience. Drishte. Paravare. Para is Paramatma, Brahman. Avara is Jivatma. Para means higher, Avara means lower. The supreme consciousness, Brahman, the individual consciousness, the Avara, the Sakshi. Paravare, when you see the oneness of the witness consciousness with the supreme Brahman. Tasmin, Tasmin means what? That. That means what? So well known in the Upanishads. Whenever you use a pronoun, the pronoun is for something what is well known. You can't use a pronoun for something which is not well known. So that supreme identity, so famous, so prasiddha in the Shastra, that is Tasmin, that exquisite knowledge is glorified as Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. That very same knowledge of identity is revealed through Mahavakyas like Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, and so on and so forth. Did I leave one? Ayam Atma Brahma. That which is the central message of all the Upanishads. That is a very truth which the Vedas want to teach us. That. When that is experienced, so Tasmin Paravare Drishte, then what happens? Asya, for that person who has experienced this. Where is Asya? There's the word cāsya there. Cāsya is cha plus Asya. For such a person, then what happens? Bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante sarvasamśayāḥ kṣīyantē karmāņi cha. Three things. Hrdayagranthiśchidyante bhidyatē. The Upanishad is using very, very strong words. Bhidyatē. Bhidyatē means what? It snaps. That's the correct word. It snaps. Hridayagranthi snaps. Granthi means knot. Hridayagranthi, translated as knot of the heart. That's only a very literal translation. But what is this word Hridayagranthi? Granthi is that which ties two things, is it not? You tie two things, that's called a knot. So there is Hrit and there is Ayam. That which ties both is called Hridayagranthi. Hrit is Ahankara. Ayam is that witness consciousness. Ayam means the closest. The closest is called Ayam. So the pure consciousness, the Sakshi. Hrit is Ahankara. Why is Hrit Ahankara? Harati iti Hrit. That it steals everything is called Hrit. This Ahankara steals everything as I. Everywhere it puts I. Body, I. So body is stolen. All thoughts, I, stolen. This Ahankara is the greatest stealer in the whole world. Robber who has to be arrested and put on for life imprisonment and kept and not released at all, bail at any cost. So this Ahankara and this Sakshi, there is a Granthi. What is a Granthi? That knot which connects. And what is that? That is the Tādātmya, the identification. Which one is it called as? You remember? What Tādātmya it is called as? Bhrantija. Remember? Where Swamiji Bhrantija? Once upon a time. Three kinds of sahaja, karmaja, brantija. That snaps. But snaps. The word snaps in English doesn't have the power of bhidyatē. Bhidyatē. Can you say snaps? Yeah, you can say that. It snaps. Bhidyatē. Also, this is at one level. Another level, hrdaya, I am is this. So this world. Hrit is that in which everything goes. Layasthanam. So hrit is Paramatma. And I am is the world. So, what is Granthi here? That misunderstanding because of which we see this name and forms as Brahman. Meaning we see only the world. We forget that underlying principle of existence. Vikritattvena bhasate, it was said before. That misunderstanding. Because of avarana shakti. Remember? Avrati. That patak. Bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante. Then what? Śchidyante sarvasamśayāḥ. Those doubts which cannot be removed. Just like that. What kind of doubt? Am I really Brahman? And if I am really Brahman, is that Brahman really I? And if that Brahman was really I? Now after experiencing this, am I truly a Jivan Mukta? And if I am a Jivan Mukta also, if the body falls, will there be a new birth or no? There are certain doubts which are removed only here. With that seed, you see, in a distance you see smoke. And then what do you think? What do you know? Fire. You know, now there is fire. But yet, when you go there and actually see the fire, now that is called as concrete experience, is it not? The same way, with Shastra study, so much of clarity can come. But there is something which happens when this happens. Otherwise, Jnanam itself is sufficient. Why should we go to Vijñānam? Śchidyante. Śchidyante means what? Are cut asunder. All doubts are cut asunder. Meaning what? No more can any doubt come. After waking up from dream, you don't have a doubt whether you have woken up or not. I do not know if you have any time had the experience while dreaming you are having a doubt whether you are awake or dreaming. Have you had this experience? While dreaming. But suppose you wake up, then after waking up, do you have a doubt? Am I now awake or sleeping or dreaming? What? No. Once you get up, all doubts end. All doubts about the dream end. Bandha, moksha, everything belongs to the... Am I bound? Am I liberated? So, therefore, whenever we have a doubt, am I liberated? Please understand, we are bound. Sometimes when you study Vedanta, no, suddenly thought comes. Now I am liberated. Am I liberated? Doubt is an indication of ignorance. Chidyante sarvasamśayāḥ. And then what? Kṣīyantē ca asya karmāņi. All the karmāņi, karma phalani, papa punya rupani. All the punya and papa, which are the givers of embodiments, all of them end. Kṣīyantē ca asya karmāņi. They don't anymore have a locus standi. They are all based on jiva bhava. When the jiva bhava ends, the karma which belongs to the jiva also ends. Pujya Gurudev used to give an example. A person is to be hanged to death. He is kept in the prison for the day when he has to be hanged. And before the day of hanging, he dies. Person dies. Now what do you do? All his files which pertain to him, they're all no more. File closed. Kṣīyantē ca asya karmāņi. So three things. Bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante sarvasamśayāḥ. Kṣīyantē ca asya karmāņi tasmin drishte paravare. Tasmin paravare drishte bhidyatē hrdayagranthiśchidyante sarvasamśayāḥ. Kṣīyantē karmāņi asya, of this Mahatma. And therefore, there is no question of any embodiment also. Videha mukti. A jnani having no more future embodiment, that liberation is called as videha mukti. So as long as the body is there, which others are seeing, the body goes through its own prarabdha according to the seers. But according to him, the sanchita, the agami, the prarabdha all have ceased. Sanchita is a collection of all the karmas. And from that one packet has manifested as the body. So that body kind of experiences according to others' vision. Agami is what is performed by the body and mind after the knowledge. Others are seen. For the jnani, there is none of these. Vimuktascha vimuchyate. The one who is liberated is liberated. Meaning what? A jivan mukta becomes a videha mukta. Okay. So shall we read the first verse? Read the first verse why? We have to start from the beginning and study again. Till when? Till when? Dehābhimānē galitē, vijñātē paramātmani, yatra yatra manō yāti, tatra tatra samādhayaḥ. Till then. Rūpam drishyam locanam drik, tadrishyam driktumanasam, drishyādi vrittayah sakshi, drigeva natu drishyate. We offer our pranams to Bhagavan, Pujya Gurudev, Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya, our own Guruji, for blessing us with this opportunity to study, reflect and meditate. Thank you. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ